Hey guys, this is AwesomeJohn22, and today we are taking a look at a figure which I believe the corresponding character really helped to inspire the look of Hound from Transformers Age of Extinction. Today we are looking at Transformers Prime Bulkhead. Let me get him a little bit better in frame, there you go. Who is, of course, a character who only exists, and a figure who only exists, because of Transformers Animated Bulkhead, who we will get to eventually. Another great character with another great figure to back him up. And that is pretty much the moral of the story today. This is a great figure. While it does have its flaws, which I probably won't talk about because I tend to gush, it is a great figure. And I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy the character. Bulkhead's very, very cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There he is. He's in robot mode. Let's get him transformed up into his alt mode through the magic of jump cuts. And here we have Bulkhead in his vehicle mode, and it's very nice, a very spiffy little thing. And I do mean little, it does shrink quite a bit, or I should say fold up and collapse in to itself quite a bit, going from robot mode to this mode, which is pretty impressive actually. It's very nice. It rolls very well, as I've been demonstrating while I talk, and it does have weapon storage back here, as you can see, which is not too invasive actually. It doesn't look too bad without the weapon, though. I still believe it looks a bit better. Great detailing on it, great metallic color to the green, as is characteristic of the Japanese first edition figures, if not the entire Japanese line. I'm not 100% sure. We can see a gas cap molded in there. Fantastic detail on the taillights. Some paint there, some metallic paint. Some great silver on these back windows. And then this smoky brown clear plastic for the other windows. Silver painted grille. Yellow headlights. Great molding in the wheels and tires, if no paint. And not a whole lot of robot kibble underneath. You can clearly see some, but it's not that bad, and it doesn't get in the way of the function of the toy. Not to mention the silver paint on the top, on the rails there. And it's there. It's very nice. It's a very nice size. You can see it next to Galvatron. He's kind of become my go-to comparison for Voyager class figures in vehicle mode, as he is a bit taller and a bit longer than average. So you can see Bulkhead is about average. He's about average Voyager class size, which is quite nice. It's a very nice looking figure in this mode. There's a reason why the Transformers Prime First Edition figures were so sought after. They were all very, very good. And this is usually the part of the review where I would tell you guys that things only get worse. And, well, I'm not going to say that this time, because they don't. They actually get better. This figure is great in both modes, as we're about to see. Though I do have to apologize in advance. It has been a while since I've transformed this guy, so I will probably make mistakes. Just FYI. What we're going to do first is we're going to pop this aft section up like so. And that gives us some clearance to do some of the things we're going to want to do back here. What we're going to do is we're going to split everything. And then we're going to lower these sections down, giving us more clearance here as well. And then we are going to take these sections, just kind of make sure they're loose, like so. Come to the bottom here, separate these bits, like so. So as you can see, so far basically everything we've done is just loosening up parts of the figure. Next we're going to take these panels, and we are going to loosen them up and just kind of raise them as much as they will go at this point. Come here, wiggle these loose of these segments here, like so, which will allow us to bring them down on these accordion-like bits here, like so, which will allow us to bring these down further, which will allow us to bring this down. First, we're going to make sure this creamish, peachish piece is kind of out of the way. by extending this down, which I always forget. As you can see, it just slides right down into place. We're going to lower this panel down and fold the bumper up like so. Bring these pieces up. Bring these pieces forward as far as they will go, like so. And bring this up like so over the top of the bumper. And I feel like I'm pushing this too far forward. Next, we're going to come here, and this is probably the trickiest part. We're going to bring this around. Now, let's get both of his arms out of the way first. And real fast, before I forget and have to backtrack, we come up here. We bring this down so that it's out of the way. And we bring his head around like so, and then just bring this back panel down, and it'll go down further in a moment, but we'll get to that. We're going to bring his arms up. Hopefully you guys can see all this, because I'm kind of being distracted. We can now bring his arms forward like so on both sides. Unfold this. Bring this back panel down, which now that the back panel is in place, if I can zoom in and show you, you can see there is a slot there and a tab here. Just slide them together on both sides, which you can kind of see where this is going now. Bring his arms down, rotate them into place. And take his shoulders and collapse them into place like so. Fold out his hands, and then move down here, unfold his legs, and bring his toes and heels, which are kind of stiff, into position, and straighten him up, get him standing. Once you get him straightened out, there you have Transformers Prime, Voyager class, first edition, Japanese, Bulkhead in his robot mode. And how fantastic does that look? As we saw already, Bulkhead in his vehicle mode was quite a bit smaller than Galvatron's vehicle mode. You would probably imagine that he is smaller than an Age of Extinction Voyager class figure, but here he is with Age of Extinction Here he is with Age of Extinction Hound, and you can see they are about the same height. Whereas Bulkhead here is, quite appropriately, quite a bit bulkier. He is massive. Just absolutely impressive. And I cannot express enough how astonished I am that this giant Voyager class figure came from that tiny little vehicle. It almost boggles the mind. Taking Hound back out of the way, and I finally said his name right, huzzah for me, we can get a better look at Bulkhead properly, and get the light on him a little bit better. You can see, zooming in, is pretty much dead on the series counterpart. And while there are some details that aren't present in the series, such as there's kind of a gap in his chest, and I'm pretty sure his shoulders didn't quite look like that in the series either, overall, he does a great job of capturing the look and the feel of the character. And this figure just does so many things right. I can't even begin to express how overall impressed I am with this guy. Let's get him angled so that we can see him a bit better, so you can get a good look at the color and the detail and the paint, which is all exactly the same in this mode, since everything here on his chest comes from parts of his vehicle. It's fantastic. There are no false parts here at all. He has this really cool thing in his forearms where these panels are on springs and can collapse for vehicle mode and pop back out to fill in his arms in robot mode. He's got fantastic articulation with a rather limited ball joint, but it's still a ball joint. Full motion in his arms that is slightly impeded by his shoulders, but not too badly. And even full movement in his legs, despite how short they are. Because his arms do fold up, you do have a weapon from the arm gimmick in the form of his punchy mace. But we also have this little peg here, which can act as a makeshift weapon, energy weapon, rather, as those also folded out of the character's arms in Transformers Prime. And I believe there is an upgrade kit to this guy that brings him a little more in line, even than this, to his show counterpart, as I get my camera fixed. But I don't really feel you need it. All it really does is, I believe it replaces his mace, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. And I think it gives him a gun, an actual legitimate gun that plugs into his arm. But I don't feel you need either of those things. I feel Bulkhead is perfectly reasonable as a figure, as he is, and I absolutely love him. It's not the only first edition figure that I feel is vastly superior to its Power Risers counterpart, or whatever the equivalent deluxe class versions were, the ones that where you revealed the heads when they transformed, they kind of automorphed. I believe that line was overall inferior to the first edition. But at the same time, I also feel that some of the figures from that line were superior to the first edition figures. So I don't feel that I'm biased enough to say that this guy's better just because he's a first edition figure. But the first edition version of the figure is better, without a doubt. If you haven't picked up a version of Transformers Prime Bulkhead, and you enjoy the show or the character and want to get your hands on one, I would definitely look into picking up the first edition version before anything else. The Power Rise version will be considerably cheaper, but I think it's worth it to go with this guy over the other one, and I definitely recommend either figure. For what I've seen, neither of them is necessarily bad. I just feel that this one is superior. Guys, that's really it for this review. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you feel so inclined. In the description down below, you will find a link to my collections video. It's a bit out of date now, but if you see anything in it that you'd like me to review, let me know and I'll see what I can do. This has been Awesome John 22, and I will talk to you guys later.